Never stop, I'll get it if I want it. Gotta make to myself a promise. I won't quit, keep going till I got it. I won't give up till I'm on top.
Yo, no, I ain't the type to give up. If I do something, man, I do it till I get what I want. I turn a business out of nothing into something I love. I got a poker face, but honestly, I'm not one to bluff. I flip a switch, never miss, man, I always stay up. Don't let them see you, bitch, always have a plan to stay tough. This life ahead of you ain't easy, it was built to be rough. But that's what makes a personality is tragedy, bruh. So keep your head on your shoulders. Now we ain't out here moving rocks, we out here moving boulders. Now we ain't getting posterized, we out here making posters. And we ain't got nothing to hide, we move forward like soldiers. You better wake up for the pace up, or you'll pay up. Don't make love to the game, bruh, fuck the game up. Change up, rearrange stuff to your greatness. Same us for the way up, play the game, bruh.
Never stop, I'll get it if I want it. Gotta make to myself a promise. I won't quit, keep going till I got it. I won't give up till I'm on top, yeah.
Welcome everyone to the show. I'm your host, Don Vic. What's up? What's up? What's the vibes? Woo, woo, Saturday night. This is the place where you find new talent, new faces, and upcoming stars here all the time, live on the show. Boy, today we got a great guest coming on the show by the name of Lance Weller. He is part of Desert Fiends and Skate to Hell with producer, my BFF, Nicole Vegas, and director Sean C. Phillips. Big shout out to them and the whole crew. So what's up? Today's Saturday. Tomorrow is Father's Day. Big shout out to all the fathers out there. Big and happy Father's Day to you all. So I'm excited. A lot of great things happening, and can't wait to be a part of these new films that are coming out. Want to shout out my crew and my teammates from Pagan TV series. Big shout out to them and everyone else is out there putting in the work. So right now, I have my guest, Lance Weller, here on my panel, folks. And we're going to bring him on here and find out exactly what he's been doing lately and what was his experience during filming on set with Desert Fiends and Skate to Hell, folks. Please welcome the one and only Lance Weller to the show, folks.
Hey, Lance. How's it going, everybody? Hey, how's it going, Don?
It's going
pretty good. Doing pretty good.
Thank you for coming on. I know you're out there with the family doing your thing.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. It doesn't hurt taking a little time away from that for sure. Because it's great talking with you. I love talking with you. But how's your weekend going?
It's going. Was invited to a cookout, but I won't think I'll make it because I got some other things to do today.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so it's a busy Saturday for me.
For sure. Got to keep the grind going. I hear you.
That's right. So, Lance, tell the viewers a little bit about yourself, where you from.
Sure. I'm from Baton Rouge, Louisiana. I grew up kind of in I would say it was kind of a poor part of town, essentially. So, I didn't really have much growing up. But ever since I was a young kid, I just was wanting a little better for myself and just to, grow up out of that. Probably around my 7th grade year of school, we moved to Ascension Parish. It's kind of a little more rural. It's kind of growing up. It's grown up the past 15 years, I would say. But it's a good place to live. I enjoy Louisiana, the food and everything. It's really, really great. The culture is great as well. So been in Louisiana all my life. I'd like to move, but my wife is pretty she's pretty adamant of staying close to her family. So I'll give her that. I'll let her have that one.
Okay. So what do you think were some of your challenges growing up?
Yeah, a lot of people I would go to school with, they'd have, their parents would kind of buy them everything and whatnot, and I kind of would have to do without. So I guess that kind of taught me, modesty a little bit there. But I was always good in school, a great student. So from there, really, throughout school, I really didn't know what I wanted to do. I knew I liked movies and things like that.
Right.
But probably my eighth grade year, I had an English teacher, and we had to write a paper, and I wrote. It was like this thriller kind of thing with like a casino and like corruption and stuff like that. And she's like,
Yeah.
I see potential in that, Lance. I really do think you need to pursue that and go into the filmmaking industry. And that's what kind of flicked the light bulb on that I needed to pursue. Working in the film industry.
Right. So, was it tough for you at the beginning, at a young age? Eighth. When did you
Yeah, I
finally?
would.
Yeah. Go ahead.
I mean, I was the kind of kid that my parents would put me in a bunch of stuff to try. I was in baseball, I was in football, I was in track and field. It was fun because I was doing that with my friends, but
Right.
I never could really, my heart really wasn't in it essentially. So it was one of those things where I just didn't know what I really wanted to do. And then my dad and we would always watch old movies and stuff like that. And, movies really did become a part of my life. And I was like, man, I wish I could do that one day, be a part of that. Uh, my grandfather actually was in a movie back in the 80s called Gator Bait, Part Two, Cajun Justice. It was like an exploitation film or whatever. I saw that when I was older, when I was
Yeah.
able to see those types of movies, and that kind of solidified it as well.
Yeah.
In conjunction with the teacher telling me that I needed to start working, towards that, and I did. Took some theater classes, been to a couple of acting classes and things like that throughout the years. Um, in high school, I did digital media, like I would do all kinds of videos and skits
Okay.
and fake movie trailers and things like that. And
Okay.
I actually won an award from doing that out of a class of 200 people. So that was
Wow.
pretty cool, and that
Yeah.
solidified it as well. Um, and then my senior year of high school, my sister actually passed away in a car accident,
Oh, sorry to hear that.
and yeah, I had to kind of put it on the back burner, the acting stuff, because I had to help out with the family.
Yeah.
But luckily, through the years, I've finally gotten the flame back to it, and that's been burning inside me to get back into acting. And back in 2020, right at the end of 2020, we had a movie coming into town. It was a Hallmark movie called My Southern Family Christmas. Bruce Campbell was part of it, and I was like,
Okay.
I'd really like to work with Bruce Campbell. So that was my hop back into the filmmaking and acting and things like that. And I've had the bug ever since. It's just been nonstop, different roles and things like that. So I'm glad the book finally came back for me to pursue the acting and all that.
That's awesome. So, like, how did you get involved with Desert Fiends? Because I know you're part of Desert Fiends, and you're also
Hmm.
a part of
Right,
Skate
Skate
to
to
Hell.
Hell.
So
Yeah.
because hold on a second.
My
I'm sorry,
Oh yeah,
because
sure.
I was in Desert Fiends, but I didn't. I don't know if I saw you there, or
Mhm.
maybe you was on a different set. But we're
Right.
in the
Yeah. What
same.
it was,
I missed
I
you.
didn't. Yeah, I didn't film any scenes with Desert Fiends, but I am a producer with that. I gave some
Okay.
funds towards the production on that. And my friend is actually one of the main characters in Skate to Hell. So I was
Okay.
talking through them with that, and then uh, I got to meet Sean and get to know him and whatnot. And I was like, this kind of feels like back in the day in high school when we were a good group of friends together making something, making magic. And I was like, maybe this is something, maybe there's something here that I need to look into. So that's when I hopped in on Skate to Hell. And from there, I met Nicole Butler Vegas.
She's
She's really
awesome.
great. Uh,
Yes.
she is. And then I met Ashley Hargrove, who's doing Marriage Bites.
Yes,
That's
Ashley.
coming out.
She's actually
Correct.
she actually said hello. She was on there. She's on there.
Oh
Yes.
yeah. But it's, and I noticed that these, these filmmakers and actors are working together. They
Yes.
know who they're working with. They know how efficient they are to get that, that good scene or that product. And I'm glad to say that I'm a part of the crew to work on that, to help make it really good, and
Yeah.
just be a part of a crew like that again. Because the friends that I did all that stuff with in high school, we broke off in different directions, different career paths, and things like that. So it's nice to be able to come back home essentially to do that type of stuff.
Yeah. And the great thing about um Sean and Nicole is that they're great to work with.
They are
And
very easy to work with. I've
yes.
been on sets where, like Sean's perfectly cool with you taking your lines and adding a little improv
Yes.
to it and working it and
Yes.
making it your own. Whereas I've been on sets where they're like, stick to the script, and it's a little exhausting for sure when you're kind of confined in a box like that. But
Right.
with Sean and Joe Kelly and
Yes.
Ashley Hargrove, they are really open minded to things and listening to input and stuff like that. So I
Yes.
commend all of them on that.
Right. Right. And it makes you more comfortable, working with them,
Yes.
where
Yeah.
you can actually concentrate on your character and bring your character out the way that it's supposed to come out, versus where you're, like you said,
Yep.
stuck in that, confined in that one space, and then now you're nervous because you want to get the lines the way that the director
Right.
wants it. So
Hmm.
yeah, and I learned from that too, because now that I'm working on my own film, I want to be that director as well, where I can give
Yep.
my actor some leadway and say, okay,
Hmm.
this is what I want. If you have anything
Right.
in mind that you want to add, let me know before we film so we can look at it,
Hmm.
maybe take a quick
Right.
take and see how it looks. If it
Hmm.
looks good, then we run with it.
Right.
If it don't,
Yep.
then we'll
Exactly.
stick
Good.
to, yeah,
Exactly. I'm always with the mindset, the first take will run what the script is, and then I'll do, the little improv with it. That way they'll have what, the script is, but also they can have to choose that option if they want to use that improv as well. So
right,
it's nice to have that little versatility with that, and make make something great out of it that, might not have been in the mindset on the script, which is
right, right.
it. Sometimes you get a really good product that way, I find. And
Yeah.
it's cool, like hearing things like in the movie Django, where Django
Oh,
Unchained, I'm sorry, where Leonardo DiCaprio accidentally broke the glass in his hand and he just kept rolling with it, improv,
yeah,
and
yeah, yeah,
that was wild and crazy that, he rolled with it, and the cast rolled with it in the scene, and he made something really cool out of it, because I
yeah.
think that's pretty neat to do something like that.
Right, right. So, what was your character like in Skate to Hell?
My character is one of the homeless people within the shelter that they have, that the
Okay,
son of the
okay.
devil actually comes into. His name's Dan. We would call him Dirty Dan on set, but
Yeah,
yeah. So he's he's it's him and a bunch of other characters, Mel, and just a ragtag group of homeless people, kind of having interactions with the devil's son in that. And it's kind of interesting that, um, as you'll see throughout the movie, the devil's son is kind of killing the homeless people, and they don't really know that. So the dynamic there is actually really, really interesting to see fleshed out throughout the movie. Watching that go down, that they don't really realize that this guy that they brought in is actually, taking them down, and that's pretty suspenseful, I guess you could say, in a sense. So that's pretty cool.
well, it's funny you say that because I was supposed to play in that scene, but
Hmm. Yeah.
Vin Muyo took my spot.
Hmm. Yeah.
So if I
Vin,
would have
he
went
did
up
a
with,
he
yeah,
he did a really good job in that scene. I really enjoyed seeing him on set for sure.
yeah,
But
yeah, yeah,
again, see, it's cool that this crew that work together. If someone's off doing another venture or something like that in that time, another part of the crew can move in and vice
Yeah.
versa, say on another production, if you needed to come in for something, that's cool that we can interchange like that and work with the crew and know that we got, a good crew to work with.
Right, right, definitely. I would love to work with Ashley maybe sometime in the future as well. She looks like a fun director to work, to work with. I love
Oh
her
yeah,
energy. She's
for sure.
outgoing. She's funny. You know,
Hmm. Yep.
spontaneous. Um, she is. She looks like she's really fun to work with. So,
Oh
you
yeah,
know,
and she puts her all into everything that she works
right.
in. There's a story she tells where she was a nun in a movie, and they actually trained for about 2 months, I think it was, with an actual nun, so they get all the mannerisms and things like that. And I think that's pretty cool that they go above and beyond with the learning different roles and things like that. That's pretty cool
Yeah,
that she
yeah,
went that deep into character.
right. So, how many films have you played in so far?
Let's see. I was in Half Baked, Totally High. I was also in the My Southern Family Christmas. That was the first one I was in. Then the next one I was in, it's called Carry On with Netflix. That one's pretty good. That's going to be a suspense thriller movie where Taron Egerton is a TSA agent, and Jason Bateman is a this mysterious character that's trying to put this bomb on an airplane for Christmas. And so
Yeah.
Taron Egerton's going through trying to, save everybody from having this bomb go off on the plane. So that's pretty cool. Uh, there's no release date yet on that one, but that one's going to be a good one. And then also Skate to Hell. And then I'll be in Clown Motel 3. And
Yes.
then finally Marriage Bites.
Awesome. So you putting in some work. You've gotten
Oh,
some
yeah,
work. You're not new at this. You got some experience in
for
front of the
sure.
camera.
Yeah.
So
Did a couple of TV shows as well. Parish, AMC TV show with Giancarlo Esposito. That was
okay.
a good one as well. That was cool
Um,
seeing him work his magic on that. Like it was a scene where he just had to give this really emotional, tearful scene essentially, and like just watching him do that. And once they yelled cut, he had like it would take him like 2 minutes to come down from that place he would get to. So that was pretty cool to see that.
it's
And
amazing.
then it was. And then also there's one called The Core. It's like a Marines movie TV
Or
show for Netflix.
I think I seen that
Yeah,
one while ago.
yeah. Oh yeah. So that one's interesting. But yeah, so it's fun. Most of the stuff I was doing was Louisiana based filmmaking. Louisiana South, as we call it,
Right.
has kind of been picking up essentially, which I mean, it's pretty nice being that, I live kind of in the Gulf South area.
Right.
But yeah, so it's pretty cool that a lot of these productions are coming through. There was a
Right.
guy where I live right now. Actually, he just signed a massive contract with Hallmark and Lifetime, so they're going to be filming a lot of
Mm,
movies here in Louisiana. So yeah, it's
I
pretty
like.
cool. And then I'm sure. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead. You go. Go ahead.
Okay. Yeah, I was just saying, like, it's just, one thing after another. 50 Cent, he's building a movie studio in Shreveport, Louisiana. So it's
Nah,
just like one thing
wow,
after it's wild. It's
that's great.
wild, but it's a
Well,
good
that's
thing. I
that's a good thing for
I
you because
appreciate that. It's nice.
you be ahead of the game. You're already on set. You
Yeah.
you got experience, so it'll probably be easier for you to get some of these roles when they come into town. Um, you
Right.
know,
Yeah. Because like Clown Motel and Skate to Hell, I have to fly all the way to Las Vegas, and
right?
that's a long trek for sure. All about
Yeah,
that. That
you
it's
tell
a
me about it.
long it's a long trip for sure. But yeah, so it'll be nice having a couple of things coming through in my backyard that be able to work on and things like that for sure.
Right. So how do you prepare yourself for a scene or for even your role? Like, what are some of the steps
Hmm.
you take to memorize your lines? What are some of the things that you do to
What I'll
memorize your lines?
my lines. What I'll generally do is I'll read a script about two times through, and then I'll read the scenes that I'm in probably about maybe 3 or 4 times just to get a good mindset. Then I'll go through, what the character's motivations are, things like that, to work with the facial features. But what I will do, like word wise with the dialogue, is say if a character has, like, another character I'm in a scene with has, like, they'll say, "Don't go there." I'll remember there, that last word in the
Right.
sentence, and I'll
And
know
you,
that's when, I'll come in to, yeah, to hop in on
yeah,
that. So
right.
I'll highlight on my scripts those last words, and I'll follow, that, and I'll run it through my head. And so far that's done pretty well. I kind of heard that, what's his name, the guy that was in The Last of Us, Pedro Pascal, he kind of has something like that as well, but his is a little more intricate. It's weird. Like he memorizes letters and things like that, and that's how he memorizes his scripts. But there's so
Right.
many different ways,
Right.
that people do things and things like that. But for me, I found the easiest is to memorize those last words
Yeah.
from the other person, and then hop into my lines on that.
Yeah, that's kind of like how I do it too.
Hmm.
I read the next person's, I read their lines, and then I'll
Hmm.
try to memorize either their last sentence or the
Yep.
half or towards the end of it, so that
Right.
that's my key word to come in
Hmm.
right after that last
Yep.
word or right after those several words. Yeah, I do the same thing.
Oh yeah.
That's how I
Yeah, I think
memorize.
that helps out the most, in my opinion. So I think it's a good technique for sure.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, yeah, like you said, we all work different, and certain things work for someone. They may not work for others.
Mhm.
Some are just so gifted that they just remember everything.
Yeah, that
I got
photographic
old
memory
timers,
where they can. Oh yeah.
right? I got old timers on top of old timers on top of old timers. So I have to
Hmm.
read things like two, three, four, five times to get it. But
Yeah.
when I got it, I got it.
Oh yeah.
So working as an actor, um, what would be something that you would love to do besides the acting? Would you like to direct? Is that something that you might want to do in the future?
Uh,
Direct your own film,
when I did,
or
yeah, when I did the videos in high school, that was my thing. I was always writing the scripts on all the videos and the trailers and all that, and then I would direct it, but then also I'd have my camera guy, Trevor. He would be the camera guy, but I'd have him directing while I'm in the scene doing stuff.
right?
So directing would be good. I also have a very, very big fascination with special effects. So I
Mm,
would like to do like special effects as well. I've done that, throughout the years, and that's been pretty fun. Just
right.
to get in there and get dirty and make crazy, crazy gore effects and stuff like that.
Yeah, that'll be awesome to watch. That'll be amazing
Oh
to
yeah.
watch. I really would like to see that. So, like, because we all have a certain actor that we love to work with. No, we got several, but there's always
Mhm.
one that we say, man, if I can get just a cameo with this person, I'm done. I won't do no more films.
Yeah,
I
that's
got
right.
the shot that
Oh
I
yeah.
wanted. What
Yeah.
character what actor would that be for you?
For me, believe it or not, I love all his movies. His presence is really great. When he yells, he has a great. It's a weird thing to say, but he has a yell that just is very impactful. I would say Samuel L. Jackson would be someone I would
Samuel
really like to
Jack.
work with. Yes.
Good
Hmm.
choice. Good choice.
Yes.
I think it's amazing. Samuel Jackson is something else. I mean, like, you know, it's when he does it, it just seems so. It doesn't seem like he's reading anything. It just seems like it's all
Right.
natural.
Like it's
And
coming
I've
from the
heard,
heart. Like he just.
yeah,
Oh yeah.
yeah, and I've heard some people that when he reads his, like he really does his homework. You know, um,
Yes.
and that's why I think he's so successful at what he does, so great at what he does.
Hmm.
On in front
Oh
of the
yeah,
camera. And that's a
for
great,
sure.
great person to just be around. I think because I think he's very funny as well. But
Yeah, he is. He is. Yeah,
you know,
but he
I'm
knows when to be serious when it comes down to it for sure.
yeah. I will have to say,
Yeah,
Mister. I will have to say, are you in character or is this really you?
that's
Because you
yeah.
can't tell.
What are we doing right now? For sure.
Oh boy, that's insane. So
Oh yeah.
so what are you working on now? Like what's next for you now?
The next thing I have coming up will definitely be Clown Motel. In that one, I play I play a cowboy that's with his comrades essentially, and we're all sitting around a campfire, and Jenna Jameson, and then also Nicole Butler Vegas uh, kind of come into our campfire area or whatever, and they are both killer clowns, and the cowboys try to take down these femme fatale killer clowns. So it's gonna be an interesting shoot for sure. We're gonna be shooting at the little ghost town that they had filmed Skate to Hell in. I didn't get to work on that day.
Right.
On that one, but that's gonna be fun. I've always wanted to check that ghost town out, but it's gonna be a super graphic scene. I've been working with Joe Castro is the special effects guy for that movie, and we've kind of been throwing back and forth, what to do in the scene gore wise, and what he has cooked up is gonna be super fun and super gory.
Yeah, I can't wait. Nicole Vegas is a very good. She's my BFF when it comes to girls.
Hmm.
Her and I been friends for almost 3 years, or maybe a little over 3 years, and our relationship is so cool, man. She's like, she's always looking out for me, like I'm her big brother.
Right.
She sees
Yeah.
if she sees me in something and she feels like it's not right, she'll call me right away or she'll text me. She'll be like, "Do your
Hmm.
homework, do your research." So
Yeah.
the bond between us is very good.
Hmm.
And her husband Cav, he's amazing as well. Um, so I've worked with them, and it's they're fun people to work with, and even on set or offset, they're amazing.
Hmm.
Um, you
Yeah.
know, so have you done any action movies? Is that something that you would like to do in the future? Maybe do some action films.
Yeah, that I'm super into action films. I like a lot of people don't like it, but I do. Quentin Tarantino movies like, Kill Bill and stuff like that,
Yeah,
where
yeah,
these long drawn out fight sequences and things like that. I do enjoy that.
yeah.
I do have something that I'm kind of working on right now, where it would essentially be kind of like how that is with Kill Bill. You have this female character going through and going fighting all these different characters and things like that. So I would definitely be down to do an action film for sure like that. So hopefully I can get that story written completely and knocked out, and then fingers crossed we can get that worked on. That would be pretty cool.
Right. Cool. Okay, you writing that say you writing that story. Who would be your your
Correct.
your your main character? Who would you want to play your main character?
A girl I worked with on Skate to Hell, actually. Her name is Elizabeth Chamberlain. I think
Oh,
she would do.
that's my friend
Yeah,
Elizabeth.
I think she
Yeah,
would do really well. I did reach out to her and said, "Look, I'm writing this thing. I think you're in mind when I'm writing this thing. So if you definitely want to do it, I'm more than happy to have you in that movie as in that role." So she sounded excited about it and whatnot. So I'm pushing myself to get that finished, and hopefully we'll get that worked on. It'll be pretty cool. It will take place in Louisiana. and shooting wise, it'll be pretty
Yeah,
cool. But
right.
yeah, so it'll be interesting for sure.
Yeah, Elizabeth Chambers is amazing. Her father, Todd, is amazing as
Hmm.
well. He's always with her.
Yeah,
Usually when she travels out of town, because they're from Canada.
they
S-
are. Yeah,
yeah. So I met
yeah.
her
So
on
that'd
set.
be a long trek for sure for them, but yeah,
Yes,
they
but
they they enjoy the travel.
yes, and they love the filming. You know,
Hmm.
Todd is a great guy. I met him on set. I met Elizabeth too. She was on my set as well, and she's very talented.
Hmm.
Acting
She
wise,
is.
writing, and singing because she is a
She is a
phenomenal
singer.
singer.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
Oh my
she
goodness,
is.
she is. When I heard her sing, man, I wanted to bring her on the other show that I had. And
Hmm.
she said, "Man, when I get a chance, because she's mad busy." But you know, that's a great choice to have her
Hmm.
on there. She's starting to really move up. I'm starting to see her in a lot of films, which is good. And I'm always,
It is.
you know, Lance, I'm always happy to see friends of mine's moving up.
Succeed. Exactly.
I love
It's
that
it's
because
nice to see us all lift up and not
yeah,
push people down and hold people down. I
yeah,
hate that, seeing people do that, backstabbing and all that. We're all, in my opinion, for me, we're all here to help lift each other up, and that's what I like to see everybody succeed. I do.
exactly. Yes, and that's my thing. That's almost my saying. I like to see everybody win. Not
Hmm.
just me. I mean, of course, I want to see myself in other projects, which I'm on. I'm on some other projects,
Right.
but you know, once you start working with a team that becomes your family, you
Hmm.
always want to work with that same team.
Yeah.
And that team
Agreed.
that you work with Skate to Hell and Desert Fiend,
Hmm.
that's my family
Yes.
right there. That's
Oh yeah.
that's when I
Exactly.
can, and I got other people in Baltimore, which I'm going
Yeah.
next week to shoot another film with my other family in Baltimore. Um, you know, it to me is the bond that I build with these other people. That I
Agreed.
miss the most.
And people that haven't really worked, on a set much per se, I guess you could say, they don't realize, it's a lot of, you film the scene a couple times and then, all right, we got to, reset the room or whatever. So there's a lot of downtime, and
Yeah,
you're talking with these people and you're making connections and friendships, and you're hearing about each other's lives and things like that, and it really does build a bond, like you said. It does become a family.
right. And that's the beauty of it. And what happens in that in those conversations is that you know someone's always someone is always working on something, or knows
Exactly.
someone that's working on something and can always plug you into that
Hmm.
next project, you
Yep.
know, and
Exactly.
so a lot of the films that I'm in has been by word of mouth. Like I haven't auditioned for any of my
Hmm.
you know
For the
parts on
roles.
set
Yeah.
roles.
Uh
Yeah,
huh.
because it's the people I know, and they like my character, they like who I am,
Agreed.
who I be. They'd be like, man,
That and
I think
that's
yeah,
But yeah, I was gonna say that's definitely a big thing as well. Networking
yeah,
is a big
it's
factor into it, and they get to talk. These people that, like Ashley, actually on Skate to Hell, she was mentioning that she had a couple things coming up and whatnot, and she got to see some of us act in these scenes, and she was like, "Oh well, okay, yeah, definitely, I could use them in this future film." And
yeah,
that way, she can see, while she's on set,
yeah,
how well you do in the scene and whatnot. And it's pretty cool that it
yeah,
works out that way. So
yeah.
I mean, it kind of feels organic in a sense, I guess you could say.
Yeah, because a lot of people don't know. A lot of people that when we go on set to do it, even the actors that we acting with, some of
Hmm.
them are directors too, and writers.
Yeah, exactly,
They
exactly.
just
You
have
you never know who. I mean, you might hear them in passing talking about it, but you never know. So it's That's why I believe in the mindset where to lift everybody up,
Yeah,
instead of pushing people down, because
amen.
it really does help you out, and it helps the other people out around you as well, I
Yeah,
believe.
yeah. And that's what, not everybody does that, because I've been on sets where people are very selfish and they just want
Yeah.
all the light on them. They want to be
Hmm.
the top, and I get it, but I don't get it, because if we're here to work
Right.
together as a team, I want to see you lift up just like I want to see myself lift up. And if I can get
Yeah.
into a project where I feel that you can be a part of, I'm going to connect you to that too. I'm
Yeah.
not just going to keep it
Exactly.
to myself. That's
Hmm.
being selfish. And because
Right.
what would happen if I go to that film and you're with me, and then 2 weeks later you end up in the same film, and you're gonna be like,
Yep.
damn, but you didn't even tell me about this, and we were together, like, and
Right.
here we are
Yeah.
together. You know, to me,
Right. And
that's
then it kind of makes a strained relationship for sure on that. I agree. It's
yeah,
it's not a good mindset to
no,
be
no,
in, that, I'm here to lift myself up and, push everybody else
oh,
down. That's
yeah, that's
that's
not
not the
the way.
way to work for sure.
It,
Yeah.
it doesn't. It doesn't. I always say that every little door that opens means so much, right? Because
Yeah.
today you and I are here.
Agreed.
Tomorrow you and I here. Tomorrow you might be above me, right? And you might see something and say,
Right.
you know what, Dom Vic can play this role. I'm gonna reach out to him and talk to the
Yep.
director. I got a guy, and you're gonna bring me up there, and that's the
Exactly.
relationships. That's why I love doing my show, because I get these relationship with you guys, and we become friends, and you never know what might happen. Something come my way that I feel, man, I think Lance can play this role. I'm gonna pick up and say, Lance, this is role. I think you can play it.
Yep.
I'm gonna connect you to the director, and then you guys can take it from there. Because
Exactly.
that's the right thing to do. That's what friends are for.
Yeah. Yep.
You know,
And to talk with the director and be like, hey, look, I got this guy, I really do think he'll be good role, for this person that I'm in the scene with, if you haven't casted it yet. And, from there,
yeah,
then you build a relationship with that director, and it really is, again, it helps everybody out in the end, in my opinion. So that
right.
that's what I think most people should do. But yeah, a lot of people do kind of think of it's me trying to get up, not lift, kind of pulling the ladder up behind you, essentially. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Because I said like this, you never know. Like right now, for an example, you're filming, you're working on a project. Now, if you bump into one of these people that are like that, and then they see your trailer, be like, wow, I want to be part of this. You already burnt your
Hmm.
bridges with me, so what makes you think I'm going to put you in my project?
Exactly. Yeah,
That's
I,
why
I already know how you're gonna work, so yeah. So the project's not gonna.
yeah,
You'll be too much drama, I guess you could say, on that
yeah,
for sure.
yeah. Right. That's why it's always good to have an open mind, be yourself.
Hmm.
Eventually, doors will open for you when time comes. I learned to be patient, you know, um,
Yeah,
and because of it, that's why I've gotten opportunities to play in certain films because of my
agreed.
patience
Yeah,
and just the way I am and treat people, and
yeah.
and people give me opportunities, and I appreciate that.
Oh
So
yeah,
if
for sure.
what advice would you give anyone that wants to get into the industry? What advice would you give them?
Uh, like I just said, just to give a story to the context on that, when I was on My Southern Family Christmas, the first movie that I worked on,
Hmm.
uh, there was a girl named Desiree that I worked with on it in the scene. We were all sitting at a table together. It was like a little cafe. And between the takes, we were sitting at this table, and I was talking to her, and she was like, "Yeah, I got a movie coming out. It's called Renfield with Nicolas Cage." So I was like, "Oh wow, Nicolas Cage." So I was talking to her, and she was naming these roles and whatnot. And so I was like, how do you do that? How do you get these roles? Do you have an agent or whatnot?" And she said, "No, but this is a website that I use. It's called My Casting File or whatever." And
Yeah.
then I kind of got my footing in there. So I learned that from the very first set to, talk with people and, treat people, with respect and whatnot. And, the networking and all that, it will come. And then the roles
Yeah.
will come from that. So that would be my thing for sure. Networking and treating your coworkers and co-stars as equals for sure.
Amen. Yeah, yeah, I agree to that. Yeah, it's a tough industry that we're in, and everybody has kind of like the same goal is to become, the next, I don't know, the next Denzel or the next Bruce Willis, and some will succeed. A lot of us
Yeah.
won't, right?
Hmm.
But
Yeah.
to me, what's important is that I'm having fun. I'm doing something that I love to do, and I'm meeting amazing people along my journey. You
Making
know,
great friendships and
making great friendship.
eventually co-stars and coworkers. Exactly.
Yeah,
It's working with your friends. That's the best thing you can do. You know what I mean? Like it's nice to work with people that you're friends with. It really is.
right. And have fun doing it.
Yes. Yeah.
Doing something that you love to do. Um, and
Exactly.
and so when you're on set and you're watching other actors that have been in the industry longer than you have, do
Hmm.
you sit there and watch them to maybe get some pointers on how to become
Hmm.
better at what you do? Do you do that?
Yeah. When I was on Skate to Hell, Darren Ewing, who was in Troll 2, uh, was in a scene, and we were the whole cast of we were all sitting in the area because it was supposed to be like all the homeless people are watching Darren Ewing's character,
Right,
and just watching him do what he was doing and picking up how his inflections in his voice on this take and this scene and whatnot and working it really was interesting to watch him do that, being he's been in the business decades. So
right.
it's cool to see a veteran actor, I guess you could say,
Yeah,
uh, you know, working his magic and doing what he does best. So,
right.
and then I'll take mental notes from that and try and hone my craft a
Apply
little
it.
bit on that.
Right. Try to apply it to some of your characters or even to yourself. Or
Exactly.
how to, yeah, I do the same thing. So when you do a film, do you watch your own film when after it's done? Do you watch yourself on camera?
I do. I do. Some people say it's a bad thing to do that because you'll be critiquing yourself, but I,
But
I
that's
I
good.
enjoy, yeah, I enjoy criticism. So
Yeah,
I'll take it in stride, and then I'll try and if I did something a little wrong here, I'll try and craft it for the next picture to make it a little better. Otherwise, how are we going to learn? So that's how
exactly.
I look at it. I agree.
Right. And I
Just
look
to
at it.
you know,
Yeah. Yeah, you're right. You're right. I do the same. I like to watch myself on film just to see what I can do better. How can I do it better next time? Criticize myself. A
yeah,
lot of people don't like doing it. That's fine. I mean, maybe that confident, they think that they can, that they're that good that they don't have to. But
right,
even if I was 10 years and 20 years into it, I still will look at it because
yeah,
we're not perfect, So
hmm,
we're always trying to work on getting better. And so when I look at a film and I look at myself in action, and I said, well, okay, it looks good, but man, I could have done it this way, or I could have said it that way, So the
yeah,
next time that a similar role comes around, now
right,
now I'm gonna execute it because now I know
yeah,
how I'm gonna do it this time. So that
exactly.
that's good that you do that and keep
Oh
doing
yeah,
it because all you're
yeah,
gonna do is sharpen yourself as you go,
exactly.
you
Yeah,
know.
and just
So
keep honing it in essentially, and it'll be better in the long run for sure.
right, right. So where exactly do you want to see yourself in 5 years from now?
Let's see. 5 years time. I definitely want to eventually be a SAG member. That's kind of been a goal of mine for a while. I would like to kind of help out Louisiana doing this Hollywood South, building that up.
Mhm.
So maybe possibly starting a production company in Louisiana and working that way and making movies like the story that I'm working on right now and kind of help build that up a little bit. I'm not opposed to you know, taking a trip to like say Vegas or Wisconsin or something like that for a role, but uh, that would be my game plan to kind of help build up the Hollywood South essentially.
That'll be great. That'll be great, and I
Oh
think you'll
yeah.
be a great director. And you know what I mean, because
Oh
you're
yeah, for
very
sure,
humble.
for sure. And
You're
then
humble. Yeah.
I can
That,
bring people that have worked on the sets in different areas of the U.S. and have them come down and work on the films and stuff like that for sure, and just have a
yeah.
good time.
Yeah.
It's a good time down here for sure.
Yeah. Louisiana. Well, them crocodiles out.
Oh yeah.
Crocodile Dundee. Where's Crocodile Dundee?
And the crawfish, the boiled
Yeah.
crawfish, and
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
food is great. It really
Yeah.
is, and the
I
music
know.
and all that. It's a good time. It really is.
Yeah. And that's exactly um, what I'm gonna do with my film when I'm ready to rock and roll is I know so many actors. I know so many actors it's endless,
Exactly.
and then when I start putting my characters together, then I can visualize which of my friends
Hmm.
I can use to play certain characters, and then those
Right.
that I once I fill that in with those main characters, then I can use the rest for either background or
Yeah.
supporting roles, because I don't.
Exactly.
I want to try to give everybody an opportunity. I don't
Right.
want to leave no one out. And if I do leave someone out, then I said
Hmm.
on my next film, I'm
Yep.
definitely going
I'll
to
catch
put
you
you
on the
on the.
next one.
I'll
Yep.
catch you on the next one because
Exactly.
I want to be fair. I want to be fair to
Yeah.
my friends, and I don't want to feel like I don't want to feel like I don't want them to feel like they left out. Like, oh man, Victor don't like me, or he just don't want to work with me.
Right.
No, I can only have
Yeah.
certain amount of people on a set and
Hmm.
film, but
Yeah.
there
You
are
might not
some.
have fit well in this film, but the next one, I'll be right, and possibly you'll definitely have a role, that'll
Yeah,
be more feasible and fit you for what,
yeah,
whatever reason it may be. But yeah, I definitely agree on that.
because I'm gonna be honest though. There's people that I wouldn't want to put them on set.
Yeah.
Not because they're terrible actors, but their attitude is not something I like.
Mm,
You know, um,
yeah.
I don't like cockiness. I don't like people that brag about what they do. I like
Hmm.
humble people and people that come into work, and that's it.
Hmm.
Um,
And do a good job, and do
yeah,
do a good job, and just everyone on set has good things to say about them. Essentially, that
exactly, exactly.
nothing bad. So I
Right,
agree.
right. I'm
Because
trying to tell you, man.
I do know there's some drama queens for sure.
Yeah,
One set I was on, the Carry On set. Somebody walked off, and we had to shut production down for the day. Like the person walked off set, and it just I mean it's weird, just that how quickly something like that can turn when someone has an attitude that kind of
right.
does not mesh well, I guess, with the whole team.
Yeah. And what they don't understand is you're hurting you're hurting the whole team. You're not hurting the director
Yep.
by leaving.
Right.
You're hurting
Yep.
everyone else because if I have to come after you, now I can't do it because you left.
Yep. Exactly.
You know,
Exactly. And
and
it
then
gives you a track record of not a great picture.
yeah, so I try to mm, stay away from those type of characters.
Mhm.
And I wouldn't want to work with them because of it. Not they could be great actors, and a lot
Yeah.
of them are, but
Yeah.
some of them get that boost in them where they think they're
they get it in their head, and they just,
yeah,
yeah,
and it messes up for
it's one way,
everybody.
and then it just block everything else out, and it not a good way to be.
Yes, yes, yes. Wow. And so what's going on in Louisiana now? Is there anything going on as far as filming?
I haven't really heard anything yet. I did talk with the guy that signed that contract with Hallmark and Lifetime. He said they do have a couple of projects that are coming up at the end of the summer, but they haven't started casting for them yet. But I think that's going to be a pretty big opportunity for sure. And then 50 Cent's G Unit Studios, that's definitely going to be a pretty big thing. It sounded like he's kind of to jumpstart it. He's doing like this big comedy festival or something like that. Like they got, I think Cat Williams is going, Matt Rife is going, like just all these names. He said there's going to be about 40 people, 40
Wow.
comedians going. So
Wow.
that sounds interesting. I hadn't heard anything films wise from the G Unit Studios side of things, but I have a feeling it's about to kick off for sure on that.
That's awesome. Actually, a friend of mine, director Asif Akbar, he is filming what should be coming out soon, a film called Boneyard with Mel Gibson
Oh yes,
and 50 Cent.
yes, yeah. A guy I worked with on Skate to Hell, Kane. He's in that movie as well.
Nice.
Yeah, I saw the trailer for it. It looked like a good movie. I'm ready for it. I'm ready to see it when it comes out.
and see, and that's another thing, Lance. How amazing that you acting people that you're on set with, you don't have no idea what movies they're working on and what type of big stars that they're working with. Like and start talking
exactly.
So
if you don't make those friendships, you'll never find any of that out. It's to be a part of the collective and not isolated by yourself. So it's going to be interesting for sure. The Boneyard, and I'm ready to see Kane's role in that for sure. It's going to be a good one.
Okay, as far as goals for you.
Yeah.
Have you accomplished most of the goals that you wanted to accomplish as far as filming?
Yeah. What I would like to do is, if you look at my record, it's pretty like genre wise, it's pretty different genres that I'm doing. That was my goal, to do like one genre of everything. Which I'm kind of getting to that point where I've basically hit all the different genres that I'm wanting to hit. There's like a couple left, but when I was in high school, the goal was to act in a big movie, and something that you can watch in the theater, or how it's going to streaming now. And I've kind of been in a couple of those that are that way. So I would say my initial goals when I was a kid, I definitely succeeded in reaching those goals. But the thing with goals, for me at least, is they're always changing. So like, I did reach these goals. Now let's reach these goals. So it kind of keeps building. Yeah.
Right. But that's great, because I was saying that today on my live, that I come from a place where very little make it or get to gotten, and I'm proud to where I've gotten to, and those are goals that I wanted to do as a kid. My music didn't work out fine, so I went on to the next thing that I love was film, was movies, and as a kid, I was watching the same actors that I was watching as a kid. I was actually playing in a film with them, and that made me. I said I accomplished my goals.
Yeah, exactly.
Like you said, now
when I was working on the on My Southern Family Christmas, I was sitting probably about like 3 feet from Bruce Campbell, and
Mm,
I'm a big horror guy, so The Evil Dead, Army of
yeah,
Darkness, all that.
yeah,
So I'm sitting there just looking at him. He's reading his lines in between takes, and I'm just thinking, you know, th- at that point right there, I was like, I, I'm happy with what I did. This is great. I've gotten to that point. And but again, my goals, I just constantly build them up and up and up, and just keep going with them. That way, uh, I always have something to strive for, and try to
yeah,
achieve.
right. And the feeling of being present around A-list actors and you're there in
Mhm.
film, it's unexplainable feeling, you
It
know,
is.
because you're like, am I really here? You gotta like pinch yourself and
Yeah, yeah.
am
Am I
I really
dreaming?
here with such and such in the same
Yes,
film? Like, oh boy,
yes.
because you know how many people are actors and been in acting for years and still haven't
Mhm.
got to do uh films with A-list actors,
Wh-
and then
Yes,
you got
yeah,
that lucky that you're working with all these A-listers.
yeah.
Safety Hell had a lot of great
Oh
actors
yeah,
there.
they
You
did,
know,
they did.
Desert
And
Fiends did too.
but and it's funny. You'll see it sometimes. Some actors, like say red carpet premieres or something like that, you'll see someone that is an A-list actor, and they will still have like a fan freak out when they see somebody who they had their childhood
Yeah,
with. They're finally meeting on that red carpet. So
yes,
it's cool to see that even
yeah,
people that have made it still have people that they have not met, and that
yeah,
they possibly or potentially still can meet. So
right,
yeah,
yeah,
it's wild to see that.
yeah, and it's happened to me. I
Hmm.
went to Hollywood recently, and I was on the Oscars and a luxury gala, and I met
Hmm.
the one and only Crystal Snow. She's a big actress out in Canada. Met
Hmm.
her. I met John Ozuna. John Ozuna is an
Oh yeah.
amazing actor, good at martial art. See, I
Mm.
didn't know who
Yeah.
they were because there's so many people
Hmm.
that you meet, and if you're not up to
Right.
date with who they are or what
Yes.
they worked on, then you don't know
Hmm.
who they are. But then when you start asking
Exactly.
questions and you start talking to your people, they'll be like, "Oh, you was at
Hmm.
there? Yeah, well, such and such was there." But like, really? Yeah, that guy
Yeah.
that you was standing by, that's the guy. And I'm like,
Hmm.
oh my god.
Yeah.
So you
Wow,
know,
I didn't realize that. Yeah, it's interesting
it's
to see
interesting.
that or go through that yourself, and you're like, oh wow, that's so he was in that movie. Oh wow, I didn't know that he was that
Right,
character. But
right,
it's cool to
right,
to have
right.
that go through that.
Yeah, yeah, and to be in the same room
Yep,
with these amazing actors that you have no idea who they might be, but they superstars. Um, and even
exactly.
from across country, like we was with some other people from China and Japan
Hmm.
that were superstars there, but we didn't know that.
Yep.
I don't watch those channels,
Right.
but they were
Yep.
superstars, and we took pictures with them, and then
Hmm.
find out that they're superstars in
Yeah.
Japan and China.
Yes.
You know,
Exactly.
so,
And it's and even if you don't know them, essentially, you know what I mean. It's
yeah,
still cool. You get to meet them. You know what I mean. Like even if they weren't what they are, but it's cool to know that that you're getting to meet people from other countries, and all that, and different
yeah,
backgrounds and all that. That really
yeah,
it's cool. You meet so
yeah,
many different people. It really is cool.
right. And then the thing is that next time you go and they remember you. They say, "Hey, and then
Yes.
that's when the
Yep.
relationship starts to really build. Not really the first time,
Hmm.
right? It's kind of
Right.
like
Right.
like introduction, but then
Uh
when you
huh.
start seeing a second time, third time, then the relationship
Yep.
starts to really get bonded, and that's when a lot of
Exactly.
things start to happen, and
Hmm.
great things come your way. So I'm big
Agreed.
at that. And
Mhm.
I'm glad that you went to Skate to Hell and met these amazing cast and crew, because they are amazing. Everyone from the makeup from Joe,
Mhm.
to Sean, his brother, everyone there is
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah.
And
When I read the script, it just was. I was like, this really does seem like something we did back in the day, and that I just had to in on it. I was like, yeah, this. I think this is the crew I kind of want to work with, and possibly see, if where my future lies with it. And I'm
yeah,
glad I worked well with Sean. Sean's great. This everyone on set was great, and I'm glad that it did well as it did, on that aspect. And then even with Desert Fiends, they I'm hearing that, maybe there might be potentially a sequel or something like that. I mean, really a sequel with anything, maybe there's a sequel with, like Clown Motel 3, say if
yeah,
you did good on the first movie and you worked well with everyone on set, maybe they'll want you back for the sequel. So
right,
it's really cool to do
yeah.
that
I've heard
and
that.
build
Yeah,
those
I've heard.
relationships.
Yes, I've heard that. That'll be nice to come back out and do a sequel to that. Um, you know, so so what do your friends and family say about your career now? Because I'm pretty sure
Yeah,
they were like, Lance, you're wasting your time. And probably you have friends that were like, dude, you're not going doing anything. You're not gonna,
right.
What do you say
Yeah.
to those?
I,
What do you say to those people?
Yeah, I definitely say to those people, the just check the the credits that of everything I've done.
Your resume. Take your resume.
Yeah, actor, producer.
Yeah,
It really shows. The proof is in the pudding, as they
that's right.
say on that. But yeah, so I will say the guys that I worked with in high school, even though they went on different career paths.
Yeah,
We always felt we had something that to show, that something to prove, I guess you could say. And
right.
we knew it was there, but sometimes life doesn't work out that way, and you just have to go off in a different direction. But yeah, I will say though, my dad, he passed away in 2012, but he was
So,
my biggest fan for sure.
uh,
He really was like into the acting and all that and the filmmaking, and he knew I was going to make it, but he didn't he even though he didn't, he wasn't here getting to see me fulfill that.
yeah,
He's in my heart, and he's always in
he
my
sees
heart,
it.
so
Yeah,
he's with
he
me,
sees
yeah, yeah.
he sees it. Trust and
So
believe. He see
it's
you.
he's yes, he's definitely over the moon on that, seeing me on everything that I've done to this point,
Right,
for sure.
right. And that's very special. Same thing with me. My I lost my mom and my pops right before I started. My filming career.
Mm,
So they never seen me. They never seen anything I've done. But I
yeah,
know they see it.
yeah, it's
And wherever
right,
they
right,
get, they see me. And I just
yeah,
really wanted for them to still be here to see me
hmm,
transition to who I am today versus who I
yeah,
was then. Um, you know,
right,
so that they can see um, that I have changed and I made a difference and I'm making a difference.
hmm,
I'm not just in my life, but
right,
your life and everyone else that comes on
yep.
my show.
Everyone else's
I try
agreed.
to connect people. I try to connect them to producers, directors, so that they can get opportunities to be able to get on other projects. Um, you
Yeah,
know, and I say, I don't do it for everybody because I can't do it for everybody, right? I could, but I
mhm,
don't. Because
right,
like I said, I
right,
always say it, I can't help everybody that don't deserve to be helped. Because some people,
yeah,
sometimes I look at it like this. Would you do it for me?
right,
I got
yeah,
to put myself
agreed,
in that. I got to put
yeah,
myself in that shoe
yeah,
sometimes with certain
right,
people. Would
yeah,
you do it for me? You know,
right,
um,
yeah,
so
yeah.
that's why I only help certain people or people that I feel like, you know what, in my heart says, yo, you got to help them or help her.
Yeah.
Then I do it.
Oh yeah, for sure.
But pretty much, man, you know, I am excited for you. I'm glad that you work with Skate to Hell. I'm thankful that you came on the show and told your story, and I can't wait to see you on set or just
Oh yeah, for sure.
on film. You know, I really
To
want
be
to see.
able, yeah, I'd love to be able to get on one of either, you know, Sean's future films or maybe Joe Kelly or something like that, and us work together and do a scene together. That'd be great. I really would
Yeah,
like that.
yeah, me too, me too. And it will happen. You know, it's just like I
Hmm.
said, it's just time and patience, and
Yep.
things, you know, things will work up. You know, like Ashley, you know, Ashley's putting together this
Yeah.
great film.
Hmm.
She is, you know, she got some perks that she's,
Yeah.
and I was thinking of getting into this film through the perks,
Hmm.
but like you said, it's way out Vegas. You know, I got other things that I
Yeah.
need to do out here. It's the timing is not
Right.
right for me. Um,
Right. Yeah,
so,
for sure.
but I
But on
definitely
the
can't wait
next
to
one,
see you.
possibly, you know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
on the next one, possibly I'll be able to. That Ashley does, and if she has a role for me, then
Hmm.
you know I'll be gladly to be a part of her team too. Um,
Oh
you
yeah,
know,
for
because
sure.
you know, you know, I just love Ashley's attitude. Like,
Hmm.
you know, you can just tell
Very
she's fun. She's
optimistic and
fun.
just,
Yes,
oh yeah.
she's fun to
Yes.
work with, and I would love to work with her.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I would love to work with
Yeah.
her in the future because just being around her is going to give me more energy. I'm already energetic, but
Exactly. Yep.
she's a
That's
little
right.
step ahead of me,
Oh yeah.
so she's going to give me all that
Yes.
energy. You know
Yeah.
what
Exactly.
Here she goes. She's still here. Other
Yeah.
perks, yes. Remote. Yes. That's my son. Yeah, what's up? So, you know, I can't wait to see you on Ashley's film and what and Skate
Mhm.
to Hell. Um, you know, you're with a great team. You're with a great family, and if it works for you, then keep doing it. You know, that's what I can tell
Agreed.
you.
Yeah.
Um, and
Yeah.
remember to always keep your mind open to, you know, anything that comes around you, and relationships is very important to grow
Yeah.
in this industry. Stay
It
humble, stay
is.
being Lance, you know,
Mhm.
you're a great guy,
Always
and
know where you came from, and you know,
always,
for
yes,
sure, just
yeah,
humble beginnings.
humble beginnings, and I see great things happening for you, you know. So
Thank you. I
again,
appreciate that.
yeah, I want to thank you for coming on the show. You're a great guy. I'll bring you back on the show in the future after you get a couple more films going on, and we can come back and
Mhm.
talk about that and see how it went on
Okay.
set for you. And then
For
and again,
sure.
anything that you have that you want to post up,
Hmm.
you can go on my page. I got a group page called the Don Vic Show Group. You go on that page and you
Okay.
share anything, any upcoming films, anything you want. You can post on there.
Projects or anything like that. Okay.
Even reels. If you
For
got
sure.
reels of yourself
Hmm.
acting,
Yeah.
you want to put them on there
Hmm.
to show people that what you do. You can put them on there as well.
Okay. I
Okay.
appreciate that. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Promotion for sure.
That's it. That's what I do. I'm the biggest promoter you see.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So thank you, Lance. Have a great time with your family. I know you out there. And
Mhm.
you know, make me some good ribs and send them over.
That's right. Will do. Will do, Vic.
All right, man. Love you, brother.
All
God
right. I love you too. You have a great one. Bye,
All
everybody.
right. Bye. That was Lance Weller there, folks. Actor, works with Ashley Hargrove, another friend of mine. She's director, producers. You know, she's also an actress. And just want to say to Ashley and every other director that's out there that's giving people opportunities to make their dreams come true. I thank you guys so much for them and for me, for giving me opportunities as well. You guys are great. And that's what it's all about, building bonds and building families. You know, and creating great films. So I want to thank you all for tuning in and showing my good friend Lance Weller support and the show support. And I'll see you tomorrow with my good friend, singer, artist, John Harley, on the show tomorrow at 3 o'clock. He'll be on the show. If you can tune in and check out his new song, new release. The song is Jumpin'. If you haven't heard the song, you can go on my page and listen to the song. It says, Jesus never tapped out. I'm trying to tell you, it's something different. It's something that you probably ain't heard. Look him up. He's on my page. He'll be on the show tomorrow at 3 p.m. Thank you guys for watching. I love you. I'm going to leave you with peace, love, respect. Y'all already know the vibes. I'm in the building, and I'm about to leave the building. So peace, love, respect again. I'm out of here. Let's go. Woo. Let's go.
Never stop, I'll get it if I want it. Gotta make to myself a promise. I won't quit, keep going till I got it. I won't give up till I'm on top.
Yo, no, I ain't the type to give up. If I do something, man, I do it till I get what I want. I turn a business out of nothing into something I love. I got a poker face, but honestly, I'm not one to bluff. I flip a switch, never miss, man, I always stay up. Don't let them see you, bitch, always have a plan to stay tough. This life ahead of you ain't easy, it was built to be rough. But that's what makes a personality is tragedy, bruh. So keep your head on your shoulders. Now we ain't out here moving rocks, we out here moving boulders. Now we ain't getting posterized, we out here making posters. And we ain't got nothing to hide, we move forward like soldiers. You better wake up for the pace up, or you'll pay up. Don't make love to the game, bruh, fuck the game up. Change up, rearrange stuff to your greatness. Same us for the way up, play the game, bruh.
Never stop, I'll get it if I want it. Gotta make to myself a promise. I won't quit, keep going till I got it. I won't give up till I'm on top, yeah.